Isn't this going to put IT guys at a company out of work? I mean, if they only have a half an hour of work.
I don't worry for them. It's going to, they have tons of work currently.
Today, our guest is Kfir Kimhi, the CEO and founder of ITsMine, and we're talking about how to work at home safely. We've all been hearing lately about the increased risk that is associated with the work from home movement, that hackers and others out there are doing horrible things. Now, ITsMine is a solution that protects both small, medium, and even big businesses' data, and it does it through the cloud with a quick, easy installation. First, Kfir, if you can address how serious is this problem?
Companies just connected their people to work from home. So the first task was for every security team and every IT team is to be able to connect their people so they could start working. Don't lose time, keep on working, keep the business going. 2 weeks after, now that everything is working, they need to think about, okay, what's going on with the data? They had to open up the network to computers from the home, where their children, download games, need to open Zoom, and on a regular basis, we do not give them that kind of access. We needed to accelerate access to the OneDrive, to the Microsoft 365, to the Google Drive, and now the data is out there. Companies need the control. They need the visibility.
What's happening? All this stuff now is out there. Much of it's been jerry-rigged and put together very, very quickly. How are some of these bad guys taking advantage of this process?
Yes. So once your kid is now downloading a game on your computer, the hackers are there. They're installing malicious code on the system, and then when you connect and that computer started to encrypt, you now need to start, if you have a good backup system, to start taking the data from there. It's a very big hassle, definitely today.
Problem of your work computer has now become your kids' homework computer, their Zoom communication with their classmates, your communication with your grandparents. It's just exposed to a whole variety of new dangers. Now, the business that you're in is called data loss protection, or DLP. My understanding about most of these systems is that they are very complex protective systems that can take a half a year or a year to implement.
So we took a completely different approach to that, because we well understood that today a company cannot implement something for half a year. They cannot implement an endpoint agent that's running on all the endpoint all the time, because most of the time it's not their computer, it's not their managed system. But they still need to know where the data is. They still need to know that the most critical data that they have, when it's open, even outside of the company, they need to be alerted.
What is involved in an ITsMine implementation? I mean, literally, how long does it take me to get protected this way?
So the first stage is what we call data breach detection, to know what's going on with your data. And for that, we need half an hour of their time.
Wait,
we connect to the logs
that in a half an hour, you will be able, without coming on premise, right? Because no one's walking into my house now.
Yeah, all remotely. We'll take the logs, we understand the logs, we find the most interesting places in the file storages, we keep all the accesses of the user, we give.
So how many thousands of dollars do I need to pay you right away to get this data breach protection?
So today we're bringing the data breach detection for free for the whole coronavirus crisis.
No, wait a minute. I don't understand what that means.
So the whole idea is now companies cannot do a regular business, and we well understand that. We got our business partners like Amazon sharing with us credits so we can do it for free, and that's what we do. We just allow companies to be able to stay in control for this time.
Anybody who's watching this who wants to know if their data is secure, if they're not being breached because they're working at home, can now contact ITsMine, get your data breach monitoring system for free for, I imagine, a limited period of time, right? That's not free forever, is it?
Until this crisis is over.
Wow.
So the next,
Okay, that's a great offer. And can you tell us a little bit about the kinds of companies that you are protecting now?
so we have very large companies that we are working with, like one of the largest companies in India. We have one of the largest banks in Europe that we are working with. But it's actually our major target is companies with thousands of users, so 500 to 5,000 employees, healthcare company in the US that now
the healthcare, data safe, which of course today I imagine with healthcare data just shifting everywhere, this becomes a very, very important issue.
Totally, and they needed to jump, 10 or 20 years ahead. Companies like Blue Cross Blue Shields could not, connect from home.
And then you can sign up and get this free data breach protection program for the length of the crisis. That's a wonderful thing from ITsMine.